Hey everybody, welcome to SMG Viewers Comments episode 129. This is my weekly show where I try and answer your comments and questions about recording to the best of my ability. If you want to see your question featured on the show, make sure to comment early and ask a cool question. Ask a great question, I might just do a whole episode based on it. Before we get going here, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and hit the notification bell if you haven't hit that already as well. Let's get right to it.
Hey, can a bad mix ruin a track if all the performances are amazing? What differences does a bad, a mediocre, and a great mix actually make?
I think we kind of covered this once already, but I'll reiterate just for the new guys coming in. I know the show's picked up a lot of new subscribers and whatnot. One of my favorite records that I listened to in college was this terribly recorded punk rock tape by a band called Mud. They were like punk Weird Al Yankovic, and they were amazing. And I listened to that tape to death, and the recording was terrible. The bottom line is, a great recording can only enhance a great song, whereas if the song is crap and you've got a great recording, well, big fucking deal, you're Nickelback.
I'm Glenn, I'm Kenwa in the recording world. What's a preamp? Thank you.
Well, what I think you were trying to say with that question is that you're new and you want to know what a preamp is, and that's absolutely fine. I remember when I was, playing guitar and just starting to get into the recording game, I didn't know anything about anything either. Basically, a preamp is what a microphone plugs into. They come in all kinds of different flavors and can get extremely expensive for the very high-end ones. Basically, you want to be able to amplify the signal coming off a microphone and do it cleanly, or you want to be able to color it in a musically pleasant way. That's why, some of the really great preamps like, APIs and Neves and Ward Beck, which you guys are going to learn about in the very near future. Those are transformer-based preamps, and they color the sound in a very cool way. Transformers aren't cheap, though. There's also some really great stuff out there that's affordable from Focusrite, and like another little step up from that would be the Audient preamps, which are just, in my opinion, like maybe a slight step down from the APIs, but not really that much. Big fan of the Audient stuff. You should really check them out. Anyway, yes, so you can definitely spend an awful lot of money on preamps, but I don't know how necessary it is. You really got to ask yourself if you're planning on having Celine Dion in the studio anytime soon.
Quantizing guitars, align it perfectly to the grid is shit, of course. But not editing guitars will make your song sound like bullshit if you can't play 100% tight. Yeah, I get the world needs great musicians, but does it mean everyone else should not be allowed to have a great sounding record? Nonsense. I'd rather have a bad mix and get tight instruments. It's enhancing your performance, not replacing it.
Enhancing your performance! You mean changing it into something that never actually happened. It's exactly the same thing as steroids in the Olympics. It's enhancing the performance. Yes, and it's not real, it's a lie. My favorite line in that comment was, but does it mean everyone else should not be allowed to have a great sounding record? Well, here's the thing, it doesn't sound great! It sounds boring! Why are you guys so satisfied with good enough? Good is the enemy of great. I want great. I want to hear something inspiring. There was a reason why bands like Queen were so awesome and did these records that stood the test of time, is because they were awesome musicians and they gave passionate performances. We're not getting that. We're getting, well, good enough, I'll just edit it. That is total crap. Here's the thing. Should everybody get great sounding records? Yes, all you have to do is practice. Don't lie to your audience.
Oh no, Glenn, it triggers my iPhone, vegan Starbucks, flannel shirt, beard oil, ear spacer, craft beer, aesthetic, vegan, kale sandwich, bro dude, core ass.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Hey Glenn, how do I go about suggesting ideas to my producer without being rude or obnoxious?
Dude, seriously, just say what's on your mind. We can take it. We're a tough bunch. If you don't like something, speak up. Chances are you're going to start a meaningful dialogue. Don't be afraid of offending people just because you have a difference of opinion. Difference of opinion is good. Difference of opinion is how we work together. And sometimes, and it works great this way, we come together to a mutual understanding and we can move forward and make something better. Never hold back what's on your mind.
Also your thoughts, Jackson or ESP, and on George Lynch as a guitar player.
Well, I grew up in the 80s. I actually saw Dokken twice. I saw them open up for Judas Priest in 86. I saw them open up for Aerosmith in 87, both times in Detroit, and they were brilliant. And I remember in the 86 show, I didn't even know who the hell they were. They impressed me so much. We went out and found the records like the next day. And yeah, George Lynch was a force of nature in the 80s and definitely didn't need any quantizing whatsoever. All you kids out there who think you're getting somewhere and need to quantize your guitars, go put on a couple of Dokken records and see how it's really done.
Hey Glenn, I know you don't believe in a god, but I just joined a band and I haven't said a thing about my religion, and then my band members asked me if I believe in a god. I said yes, now they want to kick me out, even though I've never brought it up, and it's never interfered with rehearsals. What should I do? Keep up the good work, love the vids.
I think you should play this video for your bandmates. Hey, you idiots, try not to be so narrow-minded. Just because the guy's religious doesn't mean you have to be. You know, if he's keeping it to himself, that's absolutely fine. Truth be told, a lot of my friends are Christians. I mean, like one of my absolute best friends in college went on to become a minister. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love busting his chops every single chance I get. Hey man, when's your church gonna pay their taxes? Oh yeah, right, as soon as God regrows a limb for an amputee. I.e., never going to happen. Seriously though, like I said, my friends are religious and that's fine. You know what? I respect their right to believe. I don't necessarily respect what they believe because, well, it's laughable, but they have that right and that's fine. Can I work with people like that? Of course I can. I've done, I don't know how many records with Betrayer, and those guys are some pretty heavy duty Christians. And you know what? That's absolutely fine.
Hey Glenn, love your channel and your stupid musician text series. Was wondering if you had examples of a proper way to communicate with a sound engineer who looks like, for all the fuck-ups who think the studio is a daycare for their bass player. I think showing the people the right way to talk to a sound engineer would open up their minds and respect an engineer's work than it would already be.
I think I said that somewhat correctly. You know, that's actually maybe a subject for a video in the future. That's pretty cool, actually. I mean, like, I don't know how many sessions I've sat in here and, you know, said, you know, tried a few things out for the band. I'm like, well, do you like this? No. Well, how about this way? No. Well, what do you want? I don't know. You know, guys, you know, when you come in the studio, you know, try and have a goal in mind. Try to put what you're thinking into words, okay? I know it's really difficult, but the whole telekinesis thing, the whole mind reading thing still hasn't been completely fleshed out yet, so we don't know what you're feeling. You're going to have to be able to express yourselves in plain English if possible. That is a big plus. Just helps the whole day move along a whole lot quicker. And yes, I'm talking about the drummer who was in that Christian band.
What is your favorite way to tell musicians they suck?
Go home and learn your part. I've done that numerous times. Now, I've never actually come out and told a musician that they suck. I'm not going to crush somebody like that. But I will say, okay, look, this is painfully obvious. You haven't practiced. You don't know the part. Your playing's not up to snuff. Go home, come see me in a couple weeks. Go practice, go learn this stuff. Stop wasting your time, stop wasting my time. And most importantly, stop wasting your band's money.
Dude, just for curiosity's sake, what is your political stance? When you talk about taxes and unions, you sound like a leftist. But when you talk about freedom of speech, you sound like a libertarian. Anyway, keep up the good work. Been learning a lot from your channel.
Oh boy, now this is a question I'm not going to be able to answer without at least somebody getting angry. The truth is, I see value in all sides of the political spectrum. I also see bad things on all sides of the political spectrum. I used to classify myself as one, right wing or left wing, but I've kind of moved past that and realized, you know what, everybody's got something important to bring to the table. I don't necessarily agree with everything that everybody does, but I think people from all sides do have a lot of valid things to say. Of course, I'm for free expression. I rely on free expression to bring my message out to you guys. Without free expression, creativity dies. So yeah, there's that. I'm also completely against workers being exploited. I think workers should have the right to form unions and bargain collectively and get the best possible deal they can get for themselves. I think that rich people should pay their fair share of taxes and stop being able to hide their earnings in tax shelters around the world. I think they should pay their taxes, and then we can fund things like infrastructure. I try and keep things as fair as possible. Generally, this though, I'm probably a pacifist at heart more than anything. I'm generally against things that hurt people.
The whole metal is too timid and doesn't offend anyone is horseshit. Maybe we've evolved past senselessly insulting others in our art. You want to piss people off, put Zimmer's Hole or Psycho Stick. Metal doesn't have to piss people off necessarily to be good.
I'll agree with that statement to a point. Metal doesn't have to piss people off to be great, but metal has definitely lost quite a bit of that whole danger quotient that you were getting at the end of the 80s with bands like Guns N' Roses and even Metallica to a point. It's just become way too safe. The whole point of my argument there wasn't necessarily go out and offend as many people as you can, because that's kind of stupid, in my opinion. What I was trying to say is an artist shouldn't limit what they're trying to express themselves for fear of some kind of nonsense backlash. An artist should be able to make the art that they see fit without having to worry about being thrown in jail or censored or, some, pressure group getting their concert shut down because they dared say something that somebody didn't like. That's my point. You know, go make the art you want to make. Whether or not anybody likes it, well, that remains to be seen. That's the real trick, isn't it? All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the show, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you love the show, hit the SpectreMedia.ca shop. I've got some cool t-shirts and some really cool recording lessons and some free giveaways on there as well, including some multi-tracks. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.